Before you jump into building your data warehouse, tagging your website, and building your analytics dashboards, you want to think through your analytics strategy at a high level. Welcome to Democratizing Data. My name is Jacob Chanina, and we're going to talk analytics strategy in this video. Analytics strategy specifically for subscription-based businesses. Why do we care about subscription-based businesses? Because studies show these businesses are growing like crazy. Lots of SaaS companies are using subscription-based models. They have a little bit of a different data set because they're not just dealing with single transactions, but they have a recurring business model. And really, you want to nurture value leading up to the conversion event when they first subscribe and throughout. And this subscription-based mentality helps you build a great relationship with your customers. And even many retailers that I've seen, that I've worked with in the past, are applying the same methodologies, the same frameworks from subscription-based businesses to their transactional retail business models because you want to nurture a relationship. Subscription is about an ongoing relationship that you want to nurture as long as possible. And even if you're buying clothes from Abercrombie and Fitch, you can build a community about people that just love the lifestyle, the branding, everything that goes into that brand. Lots of ways that you can nurture value is by using drip campaigns, just reminding them of the value that they've already gotten in the past. Maybe if you're Lyft, it's showing them, hey, look at how many rides you did this year. That's a feature that they shipped, and it's just there's the actual value and there's the perceived value. Getting the actual value, that is getting on your Lyft and getting a ride. The perceived value is reminding them, maybe using gamification, badges that say, hey, look, you accomplished these things. Those are all things that improve the customer, help nurture value. And that's a subscription-based type of thing. But now let's jump into the analytics strategy here. The customer journey is really what the customer goes through. Why do we do analytics? It's because we try to understand our customers. And the customer journey is basically from the moment that they become aware of your brand to the time that they either retained or churn out. These are the steps of the process. They become aware, they gain trust as they browse your product catalog or as they simply do a freemium to test out the features before they purchase. And then the conversion happens after they have enough trust. And then from the customer's perspective, the most important step of the process is activation. This is customer success. And it can be kind of tempting to just, like I've got my money and now they're going to figure it out. But subscription-based businesses know better than anyone. They often have a lower price point to entice them to begin the subscription. And they know very well that they need to focus on customer success. Companies like Slack have done an incredible job at doing customer success, not just in terms of customer support, but also digitally. Digital customer success tips. The chatbot educates you. That chatbot is your little customer success advocate, and that helps nurture value throughout the longevity of your product. So if you are building an analytics product for a subscription-based business, you want to start your strategy thinking this through. And you will get the most value from your analytics, the more complete you can make the customer journey. The most easily accessible data and most easy to analyze data is the transactional data. It has a pretty structured format, and there's different types of reports. You can make fallout reports, you can make churn reports, retention reports, you can look at average revenue per user, average revenue per subscriber. There's different ways, even with this data, there's lots of really interesting ways you can cut this data. And in my opinion, this is the most important place to start your customer analytics because it's not just about money for you and for your business. This is about what matters to your customer. You can eventually bring in usage data. That's what I meant here with this click icon. Like, what are they clicking on or what are they tapping in your mobile app? This is very, very insightful to see the patterns, to see their buying decision, to see how they're using the product. But if you only have one data point, the fact that they purchased this level of a plan or they subscribed to this type of grooming kit to be delivered to their house among the other options that were out there, this is the single biggest signal about what your customer cares about. If you think about personalization, personalization is all about knowing your customer and communicating in a way that makes sense to them. If you have that purchase data and nothing else, you have at least a pretty good clue about what they care about. It may have changed. They may have not been successful. Maybe they were successful. Maybe there's other opportunities that you're discovering through the usage that they will care about it to continue to innovate and build your product and make it better. But this should be the starting point. And then from there, to round out more of the customer journey, you want to bring in the usage data. You want to bring in click data. If you can layer that in, then and create reports that say, hey, look, this is what they're doing on the mobile app. This is what they're doing on the website. Luckily, there are some standard data models around this click data that can make it a little bit easier to analyze. And from there, there's a bunch of other data sources. I mean, we can go on and on. Perhaps I'll do this in future videos about how to bring in call center data, how to bring in third-party data for data enrichment, how to bring in data from your email marketing. Like you can even bring in data from the emails that they open. And this is very relevant to the customer journey because if they've signed up before purchasing, they submitted their email to get a coupon or to create a freemium account, you put them in a drip campaign, you can see the subject lines and use different subject lines that highlight different value propositions. And based on what they click, you can get a really good signal about what they care about. Now, not a lot of companies are at that level of maturity yet, where they are really understanding even like what content they're interacting with and how long they're consuming those. Really, most companies, most retailers, I've worked with lots of Fortune 500 retailers that are applying these subscription-based approaches to their marketing. It starts with the money, starts with transactions. From there, it goes to web. And then from there, the third data source you bring is that messaging data. Now, if you're building this tool from scratch, there are some tools that can save you a bunch of time. The ETL is a big part. It seems like a small thing to just write some Python script that just does a cron job, a batch file transfer, and starts bringing data over. And it doesn't seem too bad, but the APIs change. Twitter changes their API. Facebook changes their API. If you're using other products like MailChimp, and bringing in these data sources, maintaining those can be a big waste of time. Using these tools makes it more reliable, makes it faster, and just way more usable. You can just do it through a user interface without having to write code and click into files. Then you need a place to warehouse your data. BigQuery is really good. It plays very well with the Google Cloud Platform. Redshift obviously plays very well with the Amazon Web Services. Snowflake is pretty compatible, goes with either of those cloud platforms. And then you need some data visualization. You can build your data visualizations from scratch using some open source libraries. Looker, Tableau, and Power BI are really incredible, just have beautiful data visualizations, each of them. And each of them also have white labeling features. This can, if you're building an analytics product for yourself or for external customers, this is incredible because this white label feature means that you can embed a beautiful data visualization using an iframe directly into your website, in line with other reports, in line with other features and buttons and navigations. Anywhere you want, you can customize the size. It is a huge time saver. They can be a little bit pricey, like when you talk to the sales folks, but then when you think about, well, that's less than the salary of a developer, a full-time developer. It's kind of, and if a developer did this for 10 years, it still wouldn't be as good as what these products offer. So if that can be something really to seriously consider, that you can still go open source. One of the best data viz open source products out there is Superset. There's a bunch more. Some of them are a little bit developer centric, in my opinion. And there's also CDPs out there, but CDPs are a little bit more of an end-to-end solution. They have additional features like more activation touch points for building audiences, email campaigns, pushing things into Facebook ads. They have more out-of-the-box capabilities, and just doing a lot of this kind of more end-to-end. and identity resolution. Identity resolution can get pretty complicated for building that complete view of the customer, but basically you've got the cookie IDs and the email address and you've got a device ID. How do you match that all? Seems like it would be simple. It's not, but there's also workarounds there. If you just focus on email, like, hey, I'm just going to use email and just do authenticated logins. That's kind of the solution actually now. With the death of the cookie, Apple and Google making their changes with third-party cookies, that's the way the industry is moving anyways. You've got to authenticate, you've got to log in. And so lots of these identity resolution features are becoming less relevant going forward. But there you got it. You've got some analytics tools that you can evaluate. You've got some data sources, a little bit of a prioritization. In future videos, I might talk about more of data sources, how to prioritize those. I also might be doing different prioritization strategies. You can prioritize your data roadmap based on internal demand, if you have building an internal product, external demand, or like based on the pain scale, like what is the business impact? We're spending a bunch of money on customer acquisition. So even though it's only a couple people that are asking for this, the impact of this is huge. So those are just a few data, product management, data analytics roadmap types of methodologies you can use. But I hope you found this video useful to give you some ideas on how you can start thinking about your analytics strategy for your subscription-based business. And even if you're not subscription-based, once again, subscription-based businesses have really nailed the customer experience. You can do lead gen, lead nurture, value nurture. These were pioneered by subscription-based businesses, and they will make you very successful even if you currently operate in a transactional business model. So hope this was useful. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video, give this video a like. If you have technologies that you like to use for your analytics products, please drop those in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and have an awesome day.